Welcome to the Excel portion of problem 1411. Once again, you're going to have to refer back to figure 14.15 or 1415 in order to be able to do this. There is a Word version of this, which I recommend you listen to prior to jumping into the Excel version. So in this particular case, we have a product structure tree. It has two parents, so I'll show you how to do that in Excel software. And we have a child, but the child is common to each one of the parents. So starting this from the very beginning, obviously we go to our Excel OM tab, and this is chapter 14, and this is material requirements planning. So in this particular case, the number of lines in the bill of materials. So you have to have, in this case, there's 4, not 3. And the number of lines is a little bit misnamed. It's really the number of boxes when you look at the product structure tree. So, and don't double or don't combine. The software will do that. So in this case, C is in there twice. So you treat each one as an individual, but as long as you label them both C and C, it will do the combination for you. So there's actually 4. So there's A and C and H and C. So in this particular case, I'm going to start with A, so it'll actually label it. And we need 12 periods of time. So I'll change this to 12. And if it matters, you can put in the weeks or whatever the period of time is. Doesn't affect the calculations. So you go, okay. Now, so this is a little bit more advanced in the fact that you need to do some further calculations or further input before it does the calculations would be the proper way of explaining that. And so in this particular case, we have A. Of course, A is a parent. So we're done with that. Now we're going to have to relabel this to be C. So we're going to have to relabel this to be a C. There's one C for every A. We're going to have to relabel this as an H. What we're trying to do is we're trying to create the indented bill of materials, which is very similar to the product structure tree. Now, H is not a child of A, so we're going to use the outdent feature. So you have the indent and the outdent feature. And then when I go down to here, I don't have a D in this case, I have a C. You can actually change the usage per parent later, but you can't change the tree. If you missed the tree, you're going to have labeling out the tree. It becomes very tricky to change it later on. It can be done, but just be careful in this particular case that if you do this part properly, then everything will fall into place. So you have A with a child of C, one C for every A. You have H, which is also at low level code 0, and you have one C for every H. And then you go, done. So you get the MRP record. And by the way, if you're having trouble seeing this on your screen, go Control+. I will make it a little bit bigger for you, but you can do that on your own. On your monitor, you can go Control+ to make the size larger. Now we need to enter the information for the parents for A. In A's case, we need 100 in period number 8. So just like you're used to in the peach colored area, we need 50 in period 10, and we need 150 in period 12. The lot sizing up here is all L for L, which in this case is 1. So the default is 1. So if it's lot for lot, you don't need to change it. The lead time for A is given in the question. It is also 1. There are no units on hand, so it doesn't really matter whether I enter this as a 0 or not. As you can see, it didn't affect any of the calculations. Now for H, we need, in this case, we need 100 in week 9. You can see, you probably just noticed that C changed because C is a child of H. So I'll scroll up a little bit more so you can see it maybe more easily. So we enter the 50 for H in week 11. It already populates C, but we may have to modify C, and you'll see in a moment we will. So we have to check the lead time is 1, lot for lot again is 1, and in this case, once again, we don't have any product on hand. So we have 0, and again, obviously it doesn't change anything, so we don't even technically have to enter that, but it's good form. You should do that because there will be examples where we do have on hand coming up. So we've got all the calculations for C. The lead time for C, though, is not 1. The lead time is 2. So when I'm going to scroll up so you can see this right in the middle of the screen. So when I enter a 2 here, you notice that currently period 7, where it's planned receipts, the planned orders are in week 6 because there's a 1 week lead time as a default, but it's not 1 week, it's 2. So then you can see that I just entered a 2 and it backs it up 2 weeks. Again, the lot sizing is lot for lot. There are no, or there is 50 on hand. So it will do the calculations for you. And then we're done. And all of the calculations in behind and the logic is all done for you, as it will be done in industry, because there will be no company that does this by hand or even on an Excel spreadsheet like we did. They'll use software to do this that's tied in with your enterprise resource planning software. All right. So hopefully, and we're going to do some more. So there's going to be a couple more Excel videos. So hopefully you're finding this useful.